Welcome to my channel.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm gonna pull these blinds real quick.
What?
That's good.
Oh. Okay, I'm just gonna wait for the views to continue coming through.
No problem. I see my man Warren right there. Some of my friends are on here.
Mom, can you give me more water? I'm trying to drink water, but that's not water.
I'm gonna pull these blinds one moment.
Okay.
Alright. That's better.
Okay.
There's less exposure.
Oh, you're getting all cozy for this.
That was already cozy. Quarantine flow, you know?
Yeah. It's so boring. I'm so tired of it. Okay. What I'm gonna do is, okay. What I didn't do this time. So can I do this? Okay. Can I pin it? Come on, pin it. Pin it. Yes. Yay, pinned it. Okay. There we go. Did I pin it? Yeah. Okay. So
Anthony, you're doing good. Hey, Anthony.
So I think I'm gonna jump just straight right in.
Okay.
So first starting off, can you introduce yourself, to your new fans and viewers that would like to know you and follow you?
Yeah, I am Sheldon Bailey at Big Shell Bailey. People know me as Ruthless, loud talking bodyguard from Game Shakers, also Kenyatta from Shameless. LeBron James' body double, and I don't know, a host of other credits. I'm also a youth advocate, and I do a lot of charity work out here in the community and the world. And I make some music and stuff too.
Wow, you do it all. You're everywhere.
I do a good variety of things for sure. Not all, but a good amount of stuff. What's up, K Trim? This is my boy Big Trim over there with the 10 hand.
Oh, the 10 hands. So what are you things that you're trying to do? What are some of the things that you're doing during your time of quarantine right now? To manage your time.
Working on content development. I have a really good writing partner. His name is David Anthony Butler, and together we made a pilot called Adulting. And we produced that show, and so now we're in the process of pushing it, promoting it. It has been receiving film festival selections. It just received one, I believe, yesterday for the Portland Comedy Film Festival. And so during quarantine, we received 2 or 3 selections, and so with that comes certain promotion, social media promotion, media marketing and stuff. And then, more. We have more content, we have more scripts and stuff that we've been writing. And then it's trying to stay in shape the best way I can without actually going to the gym.
Oh, wait, one sec. Lost the light.
No problem.
Okay. So, wow, you're doing, a lot of time, you're managing your time very well right now, quarantine.
Yes.
First off, you were born in Germany. What was your experience like living in Germany?
My experience in Germany, I lived in Germany 2 different times. So I was born in Germany, I lived there until I was about 5, and before I started school in the United States. And that was cool. I remember a good amount of my childhood, those early years in Germany. I remember snow and, my daycare and different things like that. And it was cool. And also different experiences with my parents. And then I moved back in 8th grade. And so I went to 8th grade in Germany, and I was a standout basketball player there. I ran track and stuff. And it was a really cool situation because the community, the kids were really close knit there, because we were all from America and just far away from home, and so the kids on base were really close knit, and then we would have parties, all area parties with different bases and stuff, and they would just be totally just out of control.
And what inspired you, to become an actor?
Movies, and my parents watched a lot of movies. I remember whenever we was in Germany, like we watched a gang of movies. We used to rent. That's back whenever people used to rent tape.
Oh, it froze. Okay, now it's good.
So, and then so my parents used to always dub the tapes. We had 2 VCRs, so we would watch. And as we watched, we would record it. That's illegal, and they did it. So we had this giant movie library. It's crazy. My mom still has all the tapes to this day. And so I think that exposure to watching movies all the time made me love them. And then I was always interested in performing whenever I had an opportunity to perform at church or at school. And whenever I got an opportunity to do it in school, like take theater, I could not wait to take theater class. Like, I couldn't wait until I could select electives, like theater class and home economics, because I'm extra greedy and hungry all the time. I was like, I'm taking home ec and theater.
And also, who would you say are your inspirations so far in acting, would you say?
Inspirations. Wesley Snipes. I don't know if you know these guys. He's famous for Blade. White Man Can't Jump, a lot of stuff, especially in the 90s, he was super huge. Arnold Schwarzenegger was big. I loved Arnold Schwarzenegger. And then there was a guy back in the day, he's a Saturday Night Live alum. His name is John Candy. And John Candy is a big guy, 6'4", 300-something pounds, but this dude was so funny to me as a kid. I thought he was super hilarious.
And what was your first project in acting, and how did you get started?
First project, I got started in Miami. I was playing college basketball. My season ended kind of abruptly. That's a whole nother story. But in the process, I just literally Googled talent agencies in Miami. I had gone to some thing called Fashion Rock, and I had learned a bit about the industry, and then I had headshots. And so I literally Googled talent agencies. I found an agent, and I started doing stuff in Miami. My first job I did, my first auditioning commercial was a Converse commercial with Dwayne Wade. And so Dwayne Wade and Shaquille O'Neal were big in Miami at the time. So that's where I was at. And so I was fortunate enough to be able to do those commercials with those guys. And by the time I moved to LA, I had already had my SAG. I was already SAG eligible and everything, so it made things a bit easier for me.
And also, one of your first biggest roles was on the hit TV show Shameless. What was the audition process like, and what was running through your mind when you booked that role?
So that was the first non-basketball TV credit that I got, so it really meant a lot to me. The audition was very short. I had a couple lines, but the executive producers were in there. It was one of those straight to callback type of deals. And so I said something "Hey baby, what's up? Yeah, all right." And then that was it. And they thought it was smooth. I was on it was the quickest call I ever got back. I was on the 101 on the way home, because auditions, you just go, come, whatever, I said 3 lines. Next thing I know, I got a phone call from my agent. She was like, "They want you." I just left. He was like, "They want you." And I was for real? Let's go. Shameless, let's go. So they booked me on the 1 episode, and then it wound up turning into 9 episodes. It would have kept going. But my girlfriend on the show asked to be written off the show. So unfortunately that affected me.
That's upsetting.
Yeah. But we did, I had a nice run. It was a nice run. I went to Chicago twice, to film in Chicago. We filmed at Warner Brothers. We got, I got some media attention from it. And, really, even to this day, people recognize that credit a lot. They're like, "Oh, Shameless. Oh, yeah. Shameless." So it was cool.
Don't you wish, all auditions, though, were that easy, though?
Yeah. But honestly, Game Shakers was similar.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think in my audition with Game Shakers, I might have said like 3 lines.
Yeah.
And it was over Christmas break, so I didn't get a quick phone call. I had to wait like weeks.
Yeah.
But I got the phone call, and there was no call back, and they booked me for the pilot. And then it went from this character in the pilot to, while we were filming the pilot, they thought what I was doing was so funny, they just kept giving me lines. And the next thing you know, went to the next episode, and then it went from a co-star on a pilot to 23 episodes in the first season. You know what I'm saying? It's like, boom, like...
That just changed, you know? You never know when that'll happen.
Yeah.
And also, your role was a pretty aggressive character on Shameless, and also you had to do a chasing scene. What was it like filming those scenes and being on set?
It was cool because it was acting. You know what I'm saying? It was showing character. I don't like the concept of being abusive to women.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? At all. And that was unfortunate because some people, you know, kind of look at, you know, they connect you to your character in real life. And I'm like, yo, that's, you know, whatever. That was King Otter. He was tripping. You know what I'm saying? King Otter was tripping. But me, no. You know, I'm a positive person. I'm not into that stuff at all. But those scenes were really good, and they kept giving me more. And so when we did that chase scene, I remember when I had been in LA and I had worked as an extra before.
Yeah.
And so that scene was filmed in downtown LA at City Hall. And it was just a moment where, you know, I'm in the middle of City Hall, like actually standing on the sill.
Yeah.
And like 200 extras, everybody's looking dead at me. And it was just like, wow, like, I remember when I was over there, standing over here, wondering how I could be the guy.
Yeah.
And here I am, I'm the guy. And if I ain't here right now, this ain't a scene.
Yeah.
So they were just like, yo, this is crazy. Like, I made it.
And also, was it hard to act a character in Shameless, or did it come, like, do you think, easy for you?
Nah, that was cool. It was within my range.
Yeah.
I didn't have any problems with that. Yeah, it was good.
And also, you were on the Nickelodeon hit TV show Game Shakers. What was that audition process like for that and working on the set?
Audition was cool. It was if anybody ever goes over to Nickelodeon, they pretty much you'll have to deal with Bullock and Snow.
Yeah.
Casting. They cast a lot of those parts over there. They did Henry Danger for years. The new Danger Force they're casting. So Bullock and Snow, great ladies. And so it was a pretty simple character. You know, actually, I auditioned for Double G first.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, I did. And I had a good Double G.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? My Double G was dope. But yo, whenever I came to the table read and I saw that they casted Kel Mitchell for Double G, I was like, oh, it was cool. That's my girl. You know what I mean? That's like Kel. So yeah, doing the Double G thing was cool, but then Ruthless was like a really cool character. I didn't know. All of a sudden, Dan was like, yell every line. And I was like, you want me to yell like every line?
Yeah.
And so I did. It just became extremely hilarious. And then for the rest of the series, I actually yelled every line except one.
Oh.
Yeah.
That was a strange.
Like every line. Nah, it wasn't too bad because I got a strong voice.
Yeah.
And I know how to talk loud. You know, I yell at my son sometimes. I know how to yell. But the challenge with that was I wanted to learn how to yell and figure out how to yell with character.
Yeah.
It wasn't just always just aggressive yelling.
Yeah.
I learned how to find color within being loud.
Yeah.
And it worked out.
Because there's a different thing, like, between, like, you know, like, yelling and then actually, like, how you like, hone the type of, like, voice in a way.
Yeah.
around a lot of kids a lot. What was that like for you? And did you feel as though you were like a mentor for them?
It was really because I like working with kids as in general, like, and in all honesty, I was the adult that probably spent the most time with them, especially the boys. We used to play. We got on a real serious ping pong kick. We had a ping pong table, and I mean it was like maybe about a whole half of the season that we were rushing to the ping pong table every chance we got, and it was me, Thomas, and Benji playing ping pong. I showed them how to play tennis. We went out and played some tennis for a little bit. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun, a lot of laughs. I'm a big kid at times, so it was really cool hanging out with Bubba and Kel with our adult humor, and then being over here with Benji and Thomas with my kid humor. One thing we did like throughout the whole first season, we played Shanks, right? So, in prison, people make homemade knives, right? So, we used to fix our hands like this, right? As if we were holding one of those homemade knives in prison. And we would stab each other, like in the ribs. And so, like, you try to, like, you sneak up on somebody that's like, right? You, stab them, 3 or 4 times, how many times you can, before they get away. And we just did this, all season, just all of a sudden, just crept up and just was Benji would, stab me in my ribs with, his little, just this, he had a knife, and it was a whole thing, all season, in between takes. It may have been takes, I had just shanked Thomas, right before scene, and he was just like...
And also, can you do a ruthless impression for us?
What kind of impression do you want?
Oh, that's the best.
We could do it on call. I'm on the Montana show. It's your boy Root with some game shakers.
Woo, woo, woo. You just coming in the background.
Yeah. Who's somebody? What is some of these names? What's the easy name I can say on here? I don't know. Hey, Sophia. Stewie Mitchell. What's the deal, Nicole? Y'all still watching? Anti-Pass. What's up? Anthony McDougal, 1965. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's cool.
But you love doing. Do a lot of people ask you to do that impression?
Yeah. The kids do, or they don't believe me until I do it.
Until you do it. They're like, guy from Game Shakers, and you're like, yes, I am.
They be like, do the voice, and then, hey, Joe Hood, 777. So, yeah, they asked me to do it, and they be like, oh my God, it's really you. But the thing is, that sound really carries.
Yeah. So
sometimes we're in a place, and, I have to kind of modify it at times, because the ruthless voice is loud. People be like,
what's going on?
Yeah. So it's cool. Oh, also shout out to our restaurant, Hollywood Burger, where I met you.
Oh yeah.
I met Miss Montana at Hollywood Burger, and I've been at Hollywood Burger Live.
I love
Apparently you are an amazing singer. You have such a great voice.
Thank you.
You have grown woman voice. It's very
this little 13-year-old looking girl, and you're like, oh, she has a little squeaky voice, and it's like, oh,
Yeah, it was take them to church, girl.
And also, I know it's a dream of many people, to be on a big network such as Nickelodeon. What are some, things you could say in regards to someone trying to achieve that goal?
Nickelodeon specifically, or TV in general?
I would say Nickelodeon, just TV in general as well.
Okay. Well, I get asked that question a lot. A lot of people ask me, how can I get on Nickelodeon? How can I get on Nickelodeon? not necessarily an easy answer for that. But getting in the audition process is one way of doing it.
Yeah.
All right. And that is honestly learning the craft of acting and getting headshots and putting yourself in position to get an agent.
Yeah.
Obviously, and learning, doing what you can, doing film projects that can help develop you. When I first got out to LA, before I got on the Nick Kroll show, before I did Shameless, I did projects for like USC Film Academy, New York Film Academy, LA Film School. You know, I submitted to these things, and that's how I built my first role. My first reel was from roles from independent projects or film school projects. And I challenge people that aren't in a place like LA or somewhere else to do as much as you can where you are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Master your environment. You in San Antonio, Texas? Hey, figure out what's going on in San Antonio. How can I work? How can I get on TV in San Antonio, Texas? And never be afraid to put yourself out there. You know, before I did certain things like, you know, some of those castings like the John Casablanca type of stuff or whatever. You know, when I had the money, like I put it towards it.
Yeah.
And was anything materialized? Yes and no, but all in all, I did learn a lot, and I took all of that tutelage and things, and I put it towards what I wanted to do, and eventually I made it to a big city. I was outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, and I did my first music video, Anthony Hamilton music video in Charlotte, North Carolina. You know what I'm saying? I was in college at the time, playing college basketball, but hey, I saw something on like Craigslist, put myself out there, and I went. And then whenever I transferred colleges, it was important to me to go to an even bigger city. So when I was leaving outside of Charlotte, I was like, I'm going to Philly, New York, or Miami. So I wound up in Miami and took advantage of the opportunities in Miami. And then eventually I wound up in LA. And some of these kids that were on our show in Nickelodeon were there for the season. Like, really, like, there was a kid, we had this show, Nasty Goats, right? There was a kid from Canada, and he was doing stuff in Canada, and his parents came down, and they had hooked up with an agent, and they came down for like 2 months. Right? So when you're a young person, you gotta have the support of your family. You can't do it by yourself. You have a supportive family, and you all can make it happen, cool. So they came down for 2 months, and within that period of time, he booked a major guest star on Nickelodeon, and I think he also did a Disney show while he was here, and he was just here for like 2 months, and he's made it happen. But he came with his stuff together. You know what I mean? He had his headshots, he had his stuff together. They had obviously researched and communicated with some people here in Los Angeles, so he came, and it's not all that common, but he obviously had the ability, and that role came up for him at that particular time. Because you never know what's in the script this week, or what's in the script next week. So I can't guarantee that they always gonna have something for you. But you put your best foot forward and you stick around for a while, you should get a good opportunity.
Because you never know, like, the opportunity's outcome. Sometimes it may come to you, sometimes it won't. Sometimes you gotta, like, wait a little bit or, like, keep trying, you know? So,
yes, that's one of the key things. Patience. You must wait to a certain extent, but in the process of waiting, it doesn't mean sit still, sit down. It means get better while waiting. Figure out how to expedite the process and how to get it done within that time frame. While you waiting, you can keep doing stuff. Like you asked me, what am I doing during quarantine? I ain't saying I'm just sitting here all day doing nothing. I'm doing stuff. Exactly. Because I want stuff. And whenever that time comes, it's going to be like, boom, I already got the work done. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
You already got it. And also, I know you were a professional basketball player. What inspired you to do this?
What inspired me to do what?
Oh, what inspired you, wait, let me look for the question again. Okay, so I know you're a professional basketball player. What inspired you, to achieve that goal?
My dad was a big influence. I have a really good very supportive family. And I had injuries. I had major injuries in high school and college that I think would have sent a lot of people off the path. Mm-hmm. But I have a very strong will and determination. Mm-hmm. And so, even though I didn't make it to the ultimate goal, which is the NBA, I made it basically the closest step that you could to it. And I've also, it's what really got me going in the entertainment industry. Mm-hmm. I mean, I was well over 100 basketball commercials in my career. Mm-hmm. So, for some, even though I didn't go to the league, like, there's not a whole lot of people that could say that they were filmed that many times as a basketball player and make money. Mm-hmm.
Like, make far. Like, let alone make that far. So, that's pretty great, you know, for, like, trying to achieve that goal of, you know, being a professional basketball player. And also, as you said previously, you were a body double for NBA player LeBron James in various commercials. Did many people actually mistake you for LeBron James?
Yeah, people do it from time to time. They was like, yo, you know remind me of, but I'm like, who? And they were like, LeBron. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, I've never heard that before. Andrew Bynum, people throw out random basketball players, tall, dark-skinned guys usually. Yeah. Andrew Bynum was a player for the Lakers for a while. He's like 6 inches taller than me, but people ask me all the time, am I Andrew Bynum or am I Andrew Bynum's brother? So we actually went to the same gym, right? And he's 7 feet tall, right? I'm 6'6", he's 7 feet tall. And and so people used to look at us sometimes and be like, he'd be over there working, I'm like, dog, he's like almost a foot taller than me. Like, no, I'm not him. Like, what are you talking about? Or like, yo, are y'all brothers? No, we're not brothers. Or like, he was in the gym in the back and somebody looked at me like they just saw me again. And I'm like, dude, this Andrew Bynum, yo, he's over there.
And also, you played basketball in China, Taiwan, and Ecuador. What in the world was that like, you know?
Ecuador was dope because Ecuador was my first job, my first basketball job. And in all honesty, I was acting, and I was a very serious actor, and I was modeling in Miami. Yeah. I actually I was staying in shape for basketball, but I just didn't want to, like, if it wasn't NBA or, like, super, like, high level, like, I just didn't want to do it. Mm-hmm. What happened was, my son was about to be born, and somebody came with an opportunity to go to Ecuador. So I was really thinking about my family and some quick cash. Yeah. So I took the job in Ecuador, and it was, it was a really interesting experience.
Because, you know,
it wasn't. I made the best out of it though. Yeah. Because first of all, the people were very nice. Mm. The Ecuadorian people were extremely nice and just very hospitable. So that was cool. And I wound up playing for 2 teams down there at the same time, basically, like the regular team and then like a lower level team. Mm-hmm. But I went down there to get the money, so I was like, let's get it. Mm-hmm. And my first game, I went for like 48 points in my first game. And so I was like, really the goal was go down there and destroy. Like, yeah, so I was asking for bonuses like every game. Yeah. And because I was like, kept breaking scoring records. Mm-hmm. And, you know, the first contract was like weak, but when they saw how I was playing and stuff, they was like giving me more money. And then I got the opportunity at the other team. Yeah. And it just got it going. People like talking about taking advantage. Mm-hmm. Before I went to Ecuador, I got my first credit card, right? Yeah. And I bought a camcorder with a digital hard drive because at the time, a lot of them had like disc or memory cards, right? Yeah. So this one, I was like, I need the hard drive in it. Mm-hmm. And I bought a new computer, right? So what I did, I got somebody in the stands to film the games. Mm-hmm. And so they filmed all the games, and I took that and I first basketball reels and my first professional basketball tapes that then became my calling card. And so similar to like acting, with doing shows for film schools and different things like that, that was my way. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't like the big league in China yet. It wasn't, the NBA G League at the time. Yeah. But it's what I had. And I was balling. And somebody needed to see. Yeah. So I invested in myself. Took my money, invested in myself, and it paid out because I wound up getting into other leagues more or less because of that. Yeah. Well, so that's a lot, and also you were a part of a popular video game system called My Player, franchise called NBA 2K15. That's a very different experience compared to what you've done already, and what was it like being a part of that, and what was it like being a part of a popular video game? Well, 2K is dope because it was putting everything together. It was bringing acting together with the basketball world. Yeah. And it's a very popular game. Like, NBA 2K is huge. Yeah. And it was a good opportunity for me. And it was interesting because it's a challenge as an actor because it's virtual. Yeah. Your set is told to you, it's in your mind. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So you're acting as if you're at a press conference. Ain't no extras there. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all in your mind. So I think that's one of those challenges as an actor whenever it comes to doing motion capture video game stuff. You work within the space. And I think that's whenever your real acting skills, come into play. Yeah. Because you're really playing imagination at that point in time. And you have a suit on, you have a helmet, you have a camera in front of your face following your movements everywhere. Yeah. So you can't even get that close to people. At times you bump head cameras and you have to start over and stuff like that. But being a part of 2K 5 times has been amazing. I think I'm the only one that was a My Player and came back as somebody else. Yeah. I'm also ATM. Money, whenever you need it. ATM is in the building. So that's been dope. And I like filming up there in the place that they film. It's just outside of the city. Yeah. It's like the rolling hills and there's a river and just really peaceful and just cool. Yeah. And it led to another relationship with director Chris Paperniak. He's the person responsible for bringing me back. Interesting story. I was body doubling for LeBron in Miami, and then this guy a long time ago when I went to one of those fashion rock things told me, he was like, you should find important people on set and kind of naturally buddy up, you know what I'm saying? Or introduce yourself, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Without encroaching, you gotta have some good sense about it, but do it. So I wound up getting cool with the president of 2K Games. And so I just sent him an email and he gave me his card. I'm gonna follow up. I just sent him my email, talked to him. He told me about the audition for My Player. I got the job as My Player, right? And then that led to my relationship with Chris Paperniak. Me and Chris stayed in contact. He hired me on his first movie. He did an independent movie called Izzy Gets the Epicross Talent, right? And that starred Mackenzie Davis, who is the big star in the most recent Terminator movie. Yeah. And then that led to so many different opportunities. We went to Napa Valley Film Festival. Yeah. And now I have relationships with winery owners in Napa Valley. And then the LA Film Festival. So I've learned along the way, that's one of the keys. Pay attention. Yeah. Pay attention to what's going on, what's happening around you. I watched how they took that movie and how they promoted it. Yeah. So now here I am with my pilot. I'm following the same steps Chris Paperniak did. You know what I'm saying? We at the film festivals, we doing all that. Because I the opportunity that I had was then I paid attention, and here we are. All I'm doing is basically following that format, but with my own project.
Mm-hmm. So always, like, whenever you have those opportunities, it's just the key is to always connect, you know, get around, and, like, you learn stuff so much about, like, just having those opportunities of being on set and stuff and meeting new people.
For sure. Yeah, just don't be annoying about it. You know what I'm saying? Don't be annoying. But most people are professional and nice and will give you some time.
Yeah.
Now, you know, when your stuff is really together, they probably give you some more time. But what you also need to know, what is it that you're looking for? Mm-hmm. What do you want? You know what I'm saying? All right, you've met the head producer, executive producer at Nickelodeon. Mm-hmm. What do you want? What are you looking for? How can you? And also, it's not always about what people can do for you. Mm-hmm. How are these people gonna benefit from knowing you? Mm-hmm. People always asking for stuff.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes think about what can you give.
Yeah.
What can you give? What can you do? And it's always nice. People always like nice gestures. I used to send like edible arrangements and stuff like that to ad agencies. Mm-hmm. You know, whenever I worked closely with an ad agency on a commercial, I would send a gift basket or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all just made me way more money than this, but shoot, all right, I'll take the $50 and send it over there. Mm-hmm. And they like it, and they appreciate it. They'll remember you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And maybe not, it might not turn into another job, but it's definitely going in the right direction.
Yeah. Because it's not always about, you know, like receiving, it's about giving back in a way as well. You know?
It is. And it ain't always about right now.
Yeah.
People have such a tendency to just think about this moment. Yeah. This moment ain't forever. We're always moving, going. Yeah, you got what's the long run? Mm-hmm. Especially young people, y'all like want a lot of stuff right now, but you also got to realize you're young. You got time. Mm-hmm. So stay hungry, but patient.
Yeah.
That means work.
As my mom says, patience is the key.
Patience is the key. For sure. I think patience and a good work ethic together it's good.
Yeah. And also you had, again, an amazing event at the Hollywood Burger back in November, which opened up so many connections and networking opportunities. What made you start doing these events, and when did you start?
I started over a year ago. The last one we did right before the coronavirus situation shut everything down. That was actually our 1-year anniversary. We did a Black History Month event with Carol Owens. So we got that one done.
Oh, yeah, okay.
No, we got that one done. That was amazing. It may have been the best. It may have been the best one. I don't know. It was great. It was the 10th or 11th one.
Wow.
And it was 1 year. Mm-hmm. And so I was really proud because that's something that I literally just created.
Yeah.
Like, from scratch. And there's nothing like being, what up, Frenchie baby? My God, Frenchie baby. You should go to Frenchie baby's page. This dude is like an amazing dancer. And contortionist too. He be like putting his elbows and shoulders like out of socket. Yeah. Yeah. But so what happened was, I was out one night with my friends and this guy just started a conversation with us, and then he said he owned Hollywood Burger. He was the owner of it, one of the owners. So I went and met him for lunch. Mm-hmm. And so I was thinking like, how can I capitalize on this situation?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this guy owns this restaurant off of Hollywood Boulevard.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want this to end at lunch.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I want this to be something. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I had to figure out, how can the restaurant benefit too?
Yeah.
Now we're getting into business. Mm-hmm. It's like, okay, yeah, you can get free burgers all the time, but like, how can this mean something? Mm-hmm. So, that's what I chose. I came up with that concept. I was like, can I throw an event here? Can I throw a party here?
Yeah.
Or whatever. And so, I wasn't on the show at the time, had some time on my hands. And so I got a lot of friends in the industry, and I just came up with that idea. I kept rehashing it back and forth with the general manager, Kevin.
Yeah.
And we finally came up with something that made sense. That the restaurant could benefit, I could benefit, and then so we did it. And we've been doing it. I don't know how things are gonna go now after like coronavirus and all that, but I have a relationship. Like I have a relationship with that restaurant.
Yeah.
Either way. So I don't like. Will there be more Hollywood Burger lives? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But my relationship with Hollywood Burger is intact, so there will be more with Hollywood Burger in the future, anyways. One way or another. So for me, it's kind of one of those things about taking advantage of opportunity, and whenever you put yourself in like a good space, you'll become more aware when the right time comes and how you can make things happen. So I'm really appreciative of Vince Meritato and Kevin O'Shea and also Scott Mathis. These are like, and it's cool because like Vince and like Scott are the owners of Hollywood Burger, but these are like older like white guys that just were so open-minded and about what I wanted to do and about opportunities.
Yeah.
So it was really cool. Hollywood Burger is dope. If you ever get a chance, y'all in Hollywood, to go eat there.
I'll eat there.
Eat food there. Yeah, go eat there. You know what I'm saying? Our parties are dope, but it's open now for takeout.
Oh, get your takeout from Hollywood Burger.
Yeah, commercial.
You're also a huge advocate on giving back. What are some of your goals that you have for advocacy, and what social changes would you like to see in the future in the world?
Right now, with this coronavirus stuff, it makes me believe that we need a break from time to time. I think there should be a moment of time, if it's not across the world, but at least the United States of America, where we can just stop. Not work, not have to drive, not have to worry about bills, not have to worry about... I think that would be I think it's a very human thing. I think it's important. We work so much and we're so concerned about money all the time, and it causes us to miss out on some important things. It causes us to, constantly destroy our environment. And so I think having a pause would be really crucial. I am a big youth advocate, and I want better education opportunities for young people so they can go off and become great leaders and professionals for themselves and learn how to fend for themselves, not necessarily keep working for other people for the rest of their life. I would like to create what is more motivated, independent thinkers. So independent thinkers meaning like you have your great ideas and you're able to push those things, but at the same time, it's a network of people of other independent thinkers, and then you all can work within unity peacefully and get along together. So those type of things is really, overall, it's making the world a better place. There's a lot of different issues, but I think the younger we start with positive education, type of education that is, unified and progressive, I think the better off the world can be. So as an adult, I like to use my platform to push that. Also, social justice. I think there's a problem with the prison systems. I think there's a problem with the legal system. And once again, a lot of these things start early. With issues at home or issues at schools and things like that. So I really would like to continue to help address these things with the justice system and with young people as well, to just overall just make things better so people can just live like happier and more free lives.
No, I agree with what you're saying, because I feel like definitely before like this whole epidemic happened, I felt like our world was sort of going like slanted in a way. So it's like to have this sort of like evens everything out right now, and it puts everything at a hold in a way. I agree with what you're saying. And so for upcoming actors wanting to get an agent or a manager, what is some advice that you can give them?
Work on your skills. A lot of times, like, most agents don't even watch, like, monologues and stuff. They're going to watch your reel and check out your headshot. So you need to know what agents are looking for. They're looking for a good, great headshot. I would go in there with maybe a variety of 3. And research what those look like. What do good headshots look like? You know what I'm saying? Like, honestly, like, Google, great headshots, great teen headshots. Best female headshots, best African American female headshots. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever. Like refine your search, and then go for that. Resumes. You can't have a resume if you never did nothing. So you got to do stuff. You got to put you got to do stuff. People want agents, but did you ever take a class? Did you ever do a show? Did you ever film anything? You know what I'm saying? Did you even do theater? You know what I'm saying? So, headshots, resume, reel, that's what agents want. If you're a for real actor, then you should have a monologue ready. You know what I'm saying? You have your monologue ready. That's how I got my first agent. I paid $25 to go to an agency, like, exposure thing. Agent there, and I got on stage, and I did 2 monologues. I did a serious one, and I did a comedic one. And I think it was like 12 people there or whatever, and I was the only one. She signed me. Only person she signed out of, and that's the person that was ultimately responsible for me getting on Shameless and Game Traders.
Wow. So it just tells you, you could start with something or you could start with nothing, and you just have to like build off of that, So, and also, I know you also like to write and produce in the future, and like you're currently doing that as now, but would you rather like to do movies or TV shows?
I mean, dang, I gotta choose one or the other. I want to do both.
Do both?
I want to do both. I mean, right now, the most coming up thing is tackling television. And I think the progression is to movies. So, TV and film for sure, but TV is the most current thing that I'm working. I mean, my project is a pilot. It's not a movie. You know what I'm saying? Right? So, TV.
And also, I know that, are you possibly like interested in writing music and adding singing to many things that you do? If so, what type of music would you like to write? R&B, rap, pop?
I love hip hop, but I've put out 2 hip hop albums already. I do have an idea of doing a R&B poetic type of album. So that's something I do have. I'm interested in doing down the road. I got a bunch of music on deck right now. It's just I feel like it needs a proper promotion, so I'm just kind of holding on to it.
Okay. I need to go listen to those.
Golden Eagle and Crazy Joe.
Crazy Joe? Okay, I never knew that. Do you feel that there are also goals that you would like to achieve within your career that you have not done already?
Yeah, I want to be a lead star. I mean, I've done it like on 2K and different projects, but straight up major television program that I'm the face of. It's my show. You know what I mean? I want to be a lead actor, and I want to become an executive producer.
projects or special announcements you have coming up that fans and viewers can like look for?
Yeah, I don't promote the music as much, but there's a lot of people that still didn't listen to Golden Eagle and Crazy Joey. I think they're both very well-rounded albums, and especially Golden Eagle for sure. But Crazy, they're both dope. Adulting is coming. It's in 5 film festivals. A variety of them around the country. Will be in Charlotte, will be in Austin, will be in Portland. We did San Diego already, and we'll screen here in LA, and hopefully Atlanta, Georgia also. So we're pushing that project, Adulting. It's a funny sitcom showing 3 really cool professional black men. And I'm always, doing something, up to something, but those are that's the main thing, honestly, is really getting that show, because we put a lot of time and effort into that project, and to see it building some momentum is important, so we keep pushing that, so I want that too, that's the thing.
And also, who would you like to work with in the future, like actor-wise, singer-wise?
So many people, because it's old people that I want to work with. You know what I'm saying? Like Wesley Snipes and, Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone, like the old Denzel Washington, you know what I'm saying? Like the OGs. But then, there's new actors out here that, I want to work with, like Issa Rae. And, people that are hot, Charlize Theron.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like these people I think are just amazing. And then, there's young people too that, I would love to work with. I would like to create an opportunity that would be able to display a lot of the talent that I have come across at Hollywood Burger Live. People like you and Mila Neighbors and Aiden Marcus, and I would like to be able to create an opportunity to help push you all and promote you all. Because for me, I think you all are great, and anytime I can help anybody with just positive energy and a great outlook, I want to give people opportunities, honestly, and I think a lot of the things that I want to do and I want to see change in the world starts with young people like yourself.
Thank you. And also, I find that what you do at the Hollywood Burger is even helping with me. I know it helped me connect, with so many people, and that was my first time being in LA, attending an event, so that was really helpful to me, especially.
Yeah, and that's what I realized. I accidentally created a whole teen youth marketing networking event.
Yeah.
I didn't think about it, but then as I watched and I looked, here's all these kids with these talented young people with these great ideas, having fun with each other, meeting each other, and following each other on social media and connecting. I was like, that's dope.
And also, as people of color, do you feel that there are more opportunities available for people of color, or do you feel like it's very limited?
There are more, probably now than ever.
Yeah.
But there are more now than ever. I'm gonna put a but on it. There are. There are a lot of stories that are not being told, and there aren't a lot of people of color in major decision-making positions.
Yeah.
So even though they are starting to fill more positions and more character roles with Black people and people of color, the people that are making these projects still are not really us.
Yeah.
So there is still a disconnect connection on what I feel like should and needs to be seen and promoted.
Because
you get what I'm saying?
Oh, sorry.
I say you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, definitely. Because I know, like, a long time ago, like, my mom was just, like, when we originally were going to California, she was like, Montana, I'm not sure if there's going to be more, like, opportunities for you or not, you know? And she was, like, a little bit, like, do we want to take the chance or not? And she took the chance and she was like, okay, there are opportunities that are open for you and that you're, like, able to have. So, definitely, I think a lot of people get, like, nervous, you know, going to California because it's, like, the stereotype and people think, oh, I get there and, you know, there's, like, different opportunities actually for me and open for me, you know?
Not different. It's different. And it's funny sometimes. It's funny, but, like, kind of not funny.
Yeah.
But, like, someone like my white, like, blonde, blue-eyed friends are, like, frustrated now. Like, oh, my gosh, it's, like, no jobs. Every job is, like, ethnicity.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, first of all, it's always going to be some jobs for some blonde-haired white girls, okay? And y'all had a long run.
Yeah.
Y'all had a long run, okay? So, ease up. Ease up. Let my people eat.
And what is the solution, do you think, to creating more of the opportunities?
I think networks need to be more open to more black executives and Latin American showrunners. I made adulting because, all right, we're in this age of diversity and inclusion. Well, I have a diverse story that is different. I've been watching these things, a lot of stuff on television. It's about finding those gaps, what needs to be filled. So as I'm watching things, all right, we got some more black shows, we got some more black characters, right? I'm looking at the kind of shows there are, all right? Black females are faring well right now on television. Lead shows, Insecure is a big hit. Oprah's doing her thing over there. Tyler Perry's pushing, and he's mainly pushing black women. Obviously, there are black men on these shows, but there are not that many shows starring black men. So then I looked at the few shows that do star black men. What do these look like? All right, they look like Empire. They look like Power. Right? I don't want anything that so all right, okay. What else can we have? What else do we have? Can we have a black male show that looks like Insecure? Can we have a black male show that has nothing to do with drugs?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Nothing to do with violence. I look at my friends like they're not those guys on Power.
Yeah.
You know, y'all can follow me and stay tuned to what I got going on. Stay positive and keep working hard.
And also, to end the live stream, what is a positive message that you feel you should share with the viewers and fans during this crisis?
People should stay positive, and I think this is the time, even though we actually physically can't come together, that this is the time that we should find some common ground and come together in a literal, not literally physically, but just in our outlooks in life and what we got going on. A couple people want me to yell, so